Manila Bay Pollution. Overview, Introduction, Background of the case analysis, Local discussion, Foreign discussion, Proposed solution, and lastly, Conclusion. We're Group 6 Analyzer on Manila Bay Pollution. My name is Angel May Peña and my co-analyzer is Mr. Espina, Mr. De Leon, Mr. Fausto, and Mr. Cole. Introduction. Manila Bay is an important part of the Philippines because of its historical, cultural, and economic resources. The bay is a valuable resource that must be cultivated and managed sustainably because around 30% of the country's population resides in Manila Bay watershed area. That alone contributes 52.5% of the national GDP. Manila Bay unintentionally served as a dump site for Metro Manila where sewage from homes, businesses, and farms flows untreated and unmanaged. For example, disposable diapers, food scraps, plastic items, and sanitary napkins are examples of solid trash that float aimlessly. The remaining wildlife is poisoned and killed by overfishing and oil spills from ships and tankers, heavy metals, fecalcaliforms in high concentrations, pesticides, fertilizers, all contribute to the bay's continuous deterioration.
The Manila Bay pollution problem started in 1980s when industrialization and urbanization began to take hold in the country. The bay's water became contaminated with sewage, agricultural and industrial runoff, and solid waste. The problem was compounded by lack of proper waste management system and poor enforcement of environmental laws. The cause of all pollution of Manila Bay has been long established: human waste flowing directly into hundreds of streams joining the Pasig River, but many flowing directly into the bay. And there are also rivers and streams pouring into the bay surrounding the provinces of Bataan, Zambales, Pampanga, Bulacan in the north to South Cavite. Pollutants which came from both land and sea are responsible for grave effect of marine life because they interfere with the functions of marine ecosystem. The natural ecosystem is under threat due to the number of developments occurring around the bay, including overpopulation, pollution from land and sea-based sources, excessive and illegal fishing, unchecked development, habitat loss, and diminishing resources. All living species along the bay demands are impacted by these issues due to considerable degradation of the ecosystem and biodiversity.
Study number 1. According to LCM, environmental issues in Manila Bay that need to be resolved, including hazardous blooms, subsidence, groundwater extraction, overfishing, habitat conversion, and deterioration. There are, however, causes for optimism. And next is study number 2. As stated by Perez et al. 1999, rapid urbanization and industrialization are causing water quality to drop and marine habitats to deteriorate. Recent incidents involving unintentional oil spills, industrial effluent releases, mining activities, urban runoff, and atmospheric depositions have raised public awareness of the need to evaluate the effects of pollution on human health and the environment. Lastly is study number 3. According to Dino 2001, say the local officials will be made to explain why they should not be held liable for failure to strictly enforce provisions of Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2001.
Study number 1. According to Elsevier B. in 2018, the Guanabara Bay is a large bay located in southeastern Brazil, near the city of Rio de Janeiro. However, it has been facing a number of environmental issues for several years. Some of the main problems include pollution, illegal dumping of waste, untreated sewage, and chemical contamination. One of the main causes of pollution in Guanabara Bay is dumping of untreated sewage in the water. This has resulted in high level of bacteria, viruses, and other harmful contaminants in the water, which can pose a threat to human health and the environment. A lack of sewage collection and treatment surrounding Guanabara Bay has led to a number of problems for both people and the environment. The bay received untreated sewage and industrial effluent from numerous sources, including factories and settlement along its shores. This has led to high levels of fecal coliform bacteria and other pollutant in the water, making it unsafe for human use. Guanabara Bay is also populated by large amount of trash and debris, including plastic bottles, bags, and other non-biodegradable material. This trash not only spoils the beauty of the bay, but it also harms marine life. It can release harmful chemical into the water. Although the discussion is Manila Bay, the case of pollution of bodies of the water go through a long in foreign discussion because it is an environmental problem that everyone has possible effect. Study number 2. According to Dimas F. in 2011, flood response in Manila, Sitio Pareyahan in the northern part of Metro Manila. The Philippine Capital Region was submerged after Typhoon Nesat hit the country. In the fact, Sitio Pareyahan is not the only one. Many parts of Manila Bay has slowly been sinking, causing the population to be prone to coastal floods. Manila part of Manila Bay have slowly been sinking, causing the population be the prone to coastal flood. According to the existing studies, coastal floods in Manila Bay areas are caused by climate induced sea level rise and the subsidence due to the excessive groundwater extraction and rapid urban development. Manila Bay have been gradually sinking, making the local more vulnerable to coastal flood. Studies now available indicate the coastal flood in the Manila Bay region is brought on by land subsidence brought in by excessive groundwater extraction and rapid urbanization, as well as a sea level rise brought on by climate change. Due to the surrounding population and infrastructure, the bay has become fleety and overflowing with waste. They failed to safeguard by Manila Bay, which suffered severe damage that was difficult to repair. Similar problem in the Chesapeake Bay in the large estuary in the United States. The Chesapeake Bay faced significant challenge in recent years. These include pollution from agricultural runoff and development, as well as the impact of climate change. Water quality has been in decline since the 1950s and was taking a turn from the worst. By the 1970s, the Chesapeake was at tipping point where aquatic life was rapidly disappearing from the bay's waters. Study number 3. As stated by Tushari G. in 2019, the United Nations Environment Program, also known as UNEP, released a report on the state of the world's ocean, which highlighted the pollution and degradation of Manila Bay as a major concern. The report noted that the high level of pollutant, including plastic and chemical, are affected the health of marine life and the livelihood of local fishing communities. The report noted that high level of pollutant, including plastic and chemical, are affected to the health of marine and livelihood of the local fishing communities. One of the main sources of pollution in Manila Bay is the discharge of untreated or inadequately treated wastewater from household, industries, and commercial establishments. Many of these sources do not have proper wastewater treatment facilities, and this leads to the release of high levels of pollutant such as fecals, coliform bacteria, and heavy metal into the water. Manila Bay is also heavily populated by garbage, and little include plastic bottles, and other non-biodegradable materials. Many people dispose of their waste in the bay or the surrounding rivers, and this leads to the buildup of garbage that harm marine life and poses a health risk to people living in the U.S. Agency for International Development, also known as USAID, has also been involved in effort to address population in Manila Bay. In 2020, USAID launched a 5-year program to support the Philippines government efforts to reduce population and improve the health of Manila Bay. That program includes initiative to improve waste management, reduce plastic pollution, and restore ecosystem.
The proposed solution. The plan is an important part of a broader national effort to address the expanding issue of plastic waste. To emphasize how severely polluted the body of water has become, the company in Manila is known as the Battle of Manila Bay. The environmental charity Greenpeace claims that plastic waste has covered the bay's shoreline, choked its waves, and frequently harmed marine life. An unflushed toilet is known as environmentalist refers to it. So the main solution to recreate the Manila Bay is the plastic removal in the shore and in the water. With the help of the government, the Manila Bay will become clean after the removal of waste, and also it will be more clean when the polluted water be treated to remove the bacteria that gets from the trash. In addition, we add an act that will give people a reason on why they are not allowed on throwing trashes in the Manila Bay, because it will cause a problem to them when they break it. So the case analyzer want to improve the policy regarding the Manila Bay problem, which is the waste around the bay shore. We want to create an act that will prevent the people or force them not to throw or splash their trash or waste on the Manila Bay. The first one is the Republic Act 4573. In this law, will implement to give punishment on those who will caught throwing trash, will fine at least 3 to 5,000 pesos or more or less than 10,000 pesos, and get in prison for at least 3 or less than 3 months. And the second act is the Republic Act 4574, which is giving protection in the bodies of water. We gathered some conclusion and solution, and we came up in giving a program which will help people and giving them discipline on how to prevent throwing trashes. The law will also implicate in the regulation and application in the people with the help of the government. In addition, it will give control to people and preventions of waste in Manila Bay. So, the case study of the problem Manila Bay pollution, the group of researcher or the group of analyzer found out that there's a lot of way to give life the Manila Bay. First, there's a mangrove trees to protect the shore, as we cited that there's pollution of the mangroves around the bay, but they are dying because of the pollution around them. We propose to clean the shore and replant the mangrove tree around to make the shore strong. And we can also put or use a riprap stone formation. Although the Dolomite sand is beautiful and it has aesthetic view, it will fade in the storm come, and we propose to put riprap that Dolomite sand because it is more strong way to make the shore strong.